All right, let's do this thing. Howdy, I'm James Victoria, and you are here, so I must be in the right place. This is The Right Questions. And today I have a topic that I have been completely remiss on discussing with you, and I apologize because it's my favorite topic. Actually, it was always my very first assignment every semester at the School of Visual Arts. Because it's a funny one, it's a doozy, it's a big one, it's important to us. It's important to us, and yet we fail to recognize it. We fail to use it as a tool. We fail to understand it. And of course, that topic is my favorite topic. It's love. And I know you're going to say, hey James, what's love got to do with it? Rah, rah, rah. Well, I'll tell you, Tina. The idea is that you are creative. I know you are. I know you are because you're human. I believe all humans are creative. We're all born wildly creative, and some of us just forget, right? But you are creative. And you love doing that. You love being that. That's such an essential part of you. And as creative people, we fall in love. We do. We're very, when I was a kid, I was called a lot of shit, right? And some of it, none of it really sounded good to me. I was called creative, and I knew it wasn't a compliment. And I was also called this. And I've hated it most of my life. I get it now. I'm starting to get it. I was called sensitive. I was a sensitive child, right? And to me, that just reeks of weakness. It reeks of weak, thin-skinned. But I was called sensitive. And to me, that means I'm a lover. And I fall deeply in love. And you do too, because you're creative. And we fall in love with different things. We fall in love with movements. We fall in love with words. We fall in love with film. We fall in love with an idea. That's the thing. We fall in love with an idea, and that's really important. It's really important for what we do. Or we fall in love with a scribble, and that's all we want to do. And that's all we should do then. Or we fall in love with a color. Even a color. I have a good pal who loves yellow. Yellow is just his thing. And I see him every week. I see him following through, right? And that is so hard to do. I have watched him his entire career. I've been watching this guy for 10 years at least. And he's never given up on yellow. And the weird thing is, the reward is not there for him yet. Because it's slow. But it's also, I think, that love is the reward. That his love of yellow, his love of his work, his love of that idea is the reward. We often think of the other side of the equation of love is money. It's an either or thing. You can have one or the other. But that's not how it works. I was always told that you could either do great, beautiful work or you could make a lot of money. But I don't think that's how it works. Because the money comes because we love. Money follows love. Love doesn't follow money. right? Money does not love you. And that's where money gets kinky, right? It will leave you, but love will not. It will always show up. When I first moved to New York, when I was 19, I wanted to be a poster designer. I wanted to be the best poster designer on the planet, right? This is a small town kid coming from a military base at upstate New York, right? No precedents. No poster designers in my hometown. Very few artists in my hometown, except for some ladies who did watercolors. But I was very lucky. My father traveled the world because he was in the military, and he brought home, well, you know what he brought home? Posters. Spanish bullfighting posters. Fake Toulouse-Lautrec posters. Right? I had posters in my room. There were posters in our house. That was the art form of my house. And I fell in love with posters. And that's what I wanted to make. And I moved to New York, and I worked really hard so I could make posters. And it almost killed me financially because I was young and I wasn't smart and I wasn't doing it correctly. But I needed money, so I did the stupid thing. I did what everybody else does. I took a job. And as soon as I did that, you know what I did? I told love that I didn't love it anymore. I left my purpose instead of riding it really fucking hard. You know, what happens is that in doing what we love and following that trail becomes difficult. Partially because we have so few real life examples, right? How many of your neighbors are doing something beautiful, doing what they really, really love? So we begin to do a smaller version, a bad copy of what we love in order to get paid. I took a job as a commercial designer. I did good to great commercial work, but it wasn't what I loved. That work didn't get me around the world. That work didn't get me to meet some of the most important people in the world. That work didn't get me here where you, my dear friends, are listening to me. Love got me here. You know, many of us take a creative job right out of school because it's creative. And we see the potential for love in that. And there's hope in that. Yay! I'm working in the creative field or industry. I'm working at an agency. I've always wanted to work at something called an agency. But only to realize very quickly that there is actually no love in it. There may, perchance, be money, but no love. And all we have left is a job, right? All we have left is actually the job part of a creative job. Is doing what you love hard? Yeah, it's hard. It's maybe harder because we have to love, but without all the bullshit emotion. We have to see more clearly. We have to see the goal. We have to see the end result. We have to have vision. We have to have trust. We've talked about trust before. We have to have trust. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust our work. We have to trust our audience. And if we don't, then, we fall out of love. And there are a lot of reasons we fall out of love. I think the most creatives on the planet fall out of love for a number of reasons, right? Financial stability. Passion does not provide immediate financial stability. This can deter us from pursuing our love full time. There's societies. Nobody does this shit. We love watching them. We love seeing Rick Rubin, sitting cross-legged with his crazy hair, pontificating beautifully about creativity. But we're like, that's not for me. because we don't see other people doing it. We don't see ourselves doing it. Normal people don't do that. And a stable career takes precedent over our unconventional passions. Or we have family expectations. You know, family and friends might create peer pressure. You know, hey, you might want to choose a career that's, you know, it's going to take care of you and your family. You know, you got to think of your family. I heard that when I was fucking 16 or 15. I wasn't even working yet. It was all about taking care of a family that I didn't even have. Well, what are you going to do about your children? Wait, I have children? Shit, I haven't even had sex yet. How did that happen? Check out the Cabbage Patch. Right now, you're thinking, oh man, I wish James Victori could be my mentor, my guru. Hell, I wish he was my coach. Well, you can make that happen. Go to yourworkisagift.com. There's a questionnaire that will probably help you out, but it'll also give you access to a free call. So let's talk. Let's free you from overwhelm and creative frustration. Let's build your business and help you get paid to do what you love. Again, go to yourworkisagift.com. Let's talk. But our family wants to protect us. They want to take care of us. And they want us to have secure and prestigious jobs, right? And then there's the personal side of it, right? The fear. Oh my Lordness, the fear. How much fear is there in love, right? Why is there fear in love? Because we have to surrender to love. We have to give up. And that's crazy. That's like taking one of those backwards falls, right? Oh, no, don't worry, dude. I'm here. I'll catch you. I'll catch you, seriously. You know, the fear of not succeeding in a passion once. It didn't work one time. I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to fall backwards again. You know, the fear of not succeeding in your passion project can prevent you from taking the necessary risks. So there's the fear, there's the self-doubt. The self-doubt, again, those pre-recorded voices that tell you you're not worth it, or that it's not worth it, or that the ideas that you have fallen in love with aren't perfect. And then there's the struggle, because there is struggle. It's gonna be hard, yeah. But the struggle is all you've got, and the struggle is necessary. It's biologically necessary so you can train and retrain your body and your senses and your nervous system. That's what you're doing. You're retraining all of that stuff to be cool. So yeah, the struggle is a big part of it. So I gotta tell you, there's nothing better than love. Than learning to express your love in your work. Because you get to see that reflected in your audience, right? Because they want to see themselves in your work. I am currently working with at least 3 of my coaching clients right now who don't even know that what I'm trying to do is to get them to put their love into their work. And I see it, and it's fucking beautiful. So when we work together in my coaching program, I'm a collaborator on your career for however long you need me. So we work together, and I say, hey, here's something you might want to think about. Did you have you done this yet? Let's do that. Let's try it. And it's such a pleasure to see them light up when we start to put play and fun and joy and love into their work. I'm working for I don't work for anybody. I'm working with a podiatrist. Seriously. He's in my coaching program. He's a great guy. And I'm helping him put play and fun and joy and love into his work. Because you know what? His audience needs that. His audience is going to recognize that. His audience is going to say, hey, this is who I want to be around. This is who I want to sit next to the dinner table with. And that's the goal. Because we want our audience to feel that. We want to feel it. We want to just, I don't sit around with a shit-eating grin every time I'm working, but I do get that kind of, what do I call it? The Joker from Batman. Every once in a while I'll be working and I'm like, wait till they get a load of this, right? That's such a great feeling. Can't wait to share. Hey guys, look what I got. And that's the goal, to share your love freely. Listen, here it is. 3 things. If you want money, you have to help others make money. If you want attention, you have to pay attention. And if you want love, you have to give love. You see, that's this back and forth constantly. Those are the rules. And I don't even believe in rules, right? But those are good ones, right? Those are 3 good ones. Here's a funny thing. When I wrote my best-selling book, Feck Perfection, I only hinted at something. I only hinted at being weird. That's where I wrote the line that says, the things that made you weird as a kid make you great today. But I didn't hit that idea real hard in that book. So I've got to write another book about weirdness. And I'm on it. It's in my head. It's just got to get, shoved out through my fingers right now, shoved out through my love. But I've realized something, because it's not about being weird. It's not just about being weird. I've realized there's so much more to it, because being weird, and I mean really weird, where you're just like, you can be on stage and people are just like, oh my God, I don't want this to end. Right? You've experienced that. You've sat and watched other people or seen work where you're just like, I want to talk to this person. Right? I don't know what you do, but I want you here. That kind of weird. That's what we're talking about. Because being weird is an act of self-love. I've only recently realized that, and I have to share that. It's an act of self-love. Do you get that? Because being really weird is allowing your love of who you are and what you're capable of to show. And it's also the source. It is the source of all of your confidence and all of your courage. You can't budge me because I love. Think about that. You can't faze me. You can't change me because I love. So here's the right question. Here's the only question. But here's the right question. Do you love yourself so much that you can express it in your work? And not be hemmed in or blocked by your job or your job description, because your job description is not you, or what society thinks, or what you think others will say or do or feel or think about you or about your work. But can you show your love? And then, can you make your work a gift? Your work is a gift. I love you. I'm James Victori. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this exchange of love, this exchange of energy. I appreciate it greatly. You help me do what I love, and I want to be here for you. You guys go out and make and do and dance and sing and sew or make knives or blacksmith or leather goods. Do what you love, and I'll be here for you. Adios.